Hello, everyone. This is Barbara Iris Alsu of Parental World Knowledge. I want to welcome everyone. We're going to do some more watercolor painting, and I hope that you have your canvas material. It comes on a pad, and in addition, I hope you have your watercolor paints. They're on a palette, and comes from the art supply store also. And you need liquid white since it's not included in your palette. You need an artist sponge. You need artist brushes, should be several sizes. And you need a good artist eraser so that when you do your line drawing, you don't see smudge marks. And in addition, you need color pencils, but they don't have to be from an art supply store. All right, I hope that you either have a live model, which is the best thing if you're doing a line drawing, or if you don't have a live model, it could be a person, it could be a pet, you can use a prop, but please do not copy exactly, because then you're stealing some other artist's work. And you want to be original, so for juried shows and everything, and just for yourself too, that you're doing original work. In addition, if you can't draw, it's fine. You can use a computer printout, and you can paint right over that, and it's accepted in juried shows. The thing is, with the computer printout, you need good computer printing paper. And speaking of which, I just can't believe my son promised to get me a laptop. But just now, he said the surprise was coming, and I felt it was a laptop, because that's what he promised to get. It was a printer. Now, I'm thinking about it. Just now I mentioned this, if I have clients, well, they can get great printouts of anything they need to paint if they can't draw. So it could come in handy there, plus labels. You can use with a new printer, and we need labels because we're doing food in capsules, and so I'm going to have labels for all the bottles, and that's one of our products with Parental World Knowledge. So, that could come in handy, but I still needed the camera, and the laptop would have a great camera. I do have an HDT camera. I can use it in association with the laptop. I can use both. I would have like two cameras, but to me that would be a better thing, unless he got such an incredible price. But it just seems that he should have bought the laptop, because for our show. And I want to do cooking segments, and I can't do it. He has a basement full of supplies, building supplies right now. And I used to do the cooking when he didn't, but now he's doing remodeling. And I lost my basement to the remodeling. So I can't, do my cooking. I have a stationary camera, and I'm not going to be picking up, this is quite heavy, many pounds, this stationary camera and all the screens and stuff. So a little disappointed, but all right, at least if you can't draw and you want to come for lessons, you've got now a brand new printer here, so you don't have to worry about drawing. You can use our new printer. All right, well, got to look at something positive about it, and the labels. Definitely I didn't have a good printer. I have an old printer, and it's not very clear. When you use the thing, it's not printing everything, so that's not a good thing. It prints partial of what you're printing, so that is not handy. It's not good. If I was going to use that for my students. All right, and one more thing, we do have Shop for Cause tickets still. Only $5 donation, you get a free private lesson, and you can get a free antique piece of jewelry. This is one of the bracelets I made, and we give 50% to Epilepsy Foundation. And they're an organization that is a federal organization across the country, and they truly, do give the funds to research. And if it wasn't, for them, I mean, research definitely would halt. They're, definitely a foundation, and they're keeping kids alive and adults, and it's costing our nation, I don't know if you realize it, billions of dollars. Last I looked on the site, this is years ago, it was $3 billion. That's the cost of just the healthcare alone. So it doesn't make sense to pay for the healthcare. It makes sense to be doing the research. So please, call for 973-736-1637. Get a free lesson, get the antique piece of jewelry, or you can get an energy scan. Energy scan is where I pinpoint your mind or body problem, and it is resolved. You'll gain immediate more focus and energy. I can't say 100% that you will have no more problem the first day, but so far my track record is the first day. And I don't know how it happens that fast. When I do miraculous prayers, it always takes at least a couple of times. So a couple of sessions. So this is so much quicker. Alrighty, so hopefully you give us a call, 973-736-1627. And we're going to begin. I still can't believe that that's what came. And they didn't even ring the bell, the people that delivered. And normally they do ring the bell. I don't know why this guy didn't. And that's a big item. You should not be leaving it. But I kept going to the door and listening, if anybody was coming. So I'm just thankful that I went to the door and saw, and I just brought it in immediately as soon as I heard the truck. Perfect hearing. So I could hear the truck, but still they should ring the doorbell. It gives me a little quicker time. What if it was raining and that was out there? It is electronics, you don't want it wet. I don't know what's with these, some of these drivers. Most of them are wonderful, courteous, and they do ring the bell. And, my packages aren't damaged, but just the fact leaving it, a big item like that, and leaving it, it was rather difficult to pick up too. I put black with white to make gray. I still can't believe all about this. I'm thankful that I got the printer because I could use it for a number of things, but I really thought the laptop was coming in. I wrote my son, unless there's a mistake. It's possible something you order and then they give you the wrong order. But we just ordered for breaks, and they gave us the long break part. So I don't know. Maybe that's the case. I'm just hoping for the best. I hope there's still some kind of camera coming. A laptop with another camera. Sheesh. I was just reading about this gal and also watched an interview with this gal today. She has 10 million people that watch her show on YouTube. I was just amazed. 10 million. And I'm thankful for the audience we have. And she did it it took her 3 years. She changed the way she was doing things, and it took her 3 years after she made a change to her show, doing it weekly as opposed to just doing it. She did it once a week as opposed to, I guess she did like maybe once a month before. So just consistently doing it once a week. And I was thinking, hopefully we get that, because we're doing it daily, weekday daily usually. And unless it's an emergency, or my power went off because of my workman, I can't, control that, unfortunately. But that is something. It's really something. I applaud YouTube to help someone have an online webinars that are so successful. I applaud them. And I, always felt YouTube was the place. That's where I wanted to do my show. I never had doubt, I felt this is the place. And there's a lot of places for webinars, but I felt this is the best avenue. And I like the people on here. I mean, just really nice people on Google Hangouts and YouTube. I'm very thankful. I'm not changing my show. This is where it's going to stay. It's interesting. I had an offer for somebody to buy my online company, which would have included this, my show on Google Hangouts and YouTube. I'm lifting my arm up because my son has it on timer. A light, if you haven't watched earlier shows. I have just, I'm lifting my arm up and like you're going, what is she doing there? That's why I'm lifting it up. Just in case you didn't know. But, I think the other ones, I've been on those webinars and, I watched them. I mean, not that I appeared on them. I'm saying I watched them. And, I spoke and, commented, but I mean, I didn't actually, partake and go to the webinar, wherever it was. And I found that a lot of times it's disruptive. Their program, I found overall YouTube was better. It's less disruption. Because I notice, like, when I'm watching it, it's just like it goes off. I can't hear it. And most of the time. So I'm really thankful that I'm on YouTube, and I would recommend to stick, anyone doing their webinar, stick with YouTube. Especially hearing that, you can get a potential of that audience. I don't think you're going to get that audience on other avenues. I really don't. 10 million people. We're in 3 years. We're doing just a weekly show. So my thought, if you're starting webinars, start with the best, Google Hangouts and YouTube. And a lot of times, even the small business, they didn't have it on Google Hangouts and YouTube. And I called in like 3 of their numbers, couldn't get through. I then used a link, couldn't get through. Finally, they had to give me another link. And this was ridiculous. And I was missing a very important webinar. This was involving our Mr. President. I was so upset that I missed most of it. And there wasn't a replay. So I was aggravated, very aggravated. My thought is, don't waste your time with these other companies. Stick with Google Hangouts and YouTube. And I don't get paid for saying this, but I just, logically think from past experience, most of the time, it's worked with great effect. The only problem was recently because speed was increased and my computer was old, and so I couldn't keep up with. I found out that's the reason I couldn't keep up with the Google Hangouts and YouTube. So now I'm not using that. I'm using my son's, which is more of a commercial usage. His system. And since he's an architect, David Alsu, he has the best computer. I bought him this years ago, to go to college. I didn't buy myself the good one. I bought myself the cheap one. And that's what, mother does. So that's why he wanted to get me one, because he knows I spent all the money on his. He had to have high graphics, and he's got the faster computer. This is a commercial unit. And he keeps improving and buying more parts for upgrades. Now, when you're doing this, use very little water, use more paint, do gentle brush strokes as I'm doing. And in addition, if you need to just in certain areas dot on or dab on, instead of a brush stroke, you can do that too in a small area. I should put this just a little more down. I just don't understand why all these people, small businesses should be on a better system where that didn't happen. It should really, I hope, I'm going to mention, they should really do YouTube. It's much better. If you have a good computer, it works very efficiently. Most of the time, it's very seldom it goes off. You may have a good computer, so it just doesn't make sense why, something as important as our Mr. President being on and I could have talked to him, it was such a disappointment. I was on time, I was early, I went on an hour early and I could never get on until the end. It was too late to say anything. Well, I did write the president in the past, and he answered me concerning Epilepsy Foundation, and he did a big gala in Washington. But still, I would have had a chance to talk to him. And I didn't, because they had the wrong system. They didn't have it on YouTube. Such an honor that would have been. Because if it wasn't for him, donating to Epilepsy Foundation, what would happen? All the surgery would have been halted. And I found out from Columbia Presbyterian, I've mentioned this in earlier shows. So, it was a big thing that he did by doing the gala in Washington. And they raised millions of dollars. And there was a cure, but not a universal cure. And that's the problem. That's why I'm still donating. 50%. And Shop for a Cause, they give August 26th to 28th a whole weekend to use the 25% coupon. And it's for most items, even designer items, and sale items included. So that's a great offer to get our free art lesson, free piece of jewelry, or the energy scan. And you might win $500 from Macy's, and you might win our digital camera or our beautiful copper coin, which is a rare coin from the Challenger, to honor those people that gave their lives. It was such a tragedy. I just can't even believe, what happened with that. Wonderful people. So it's a commemorative coin honoring they gave their lives. And they weren't astronauts. A lot of them were teachers, It's kind of sad. But unfortunately, I do this. For a noble cause, for space exploration and to help our planet. I mean, if we understand what's going on out in the universe, if we need another place for us to reside in the future, I mean, these are things to consider. So it's a noble thing. It's just a shame that they died so young doing such a noble thing. So again, give us a call, 973-736-1627, 973-736-1627. You can be any age to have your private lesson, but with the Google Hangouts and YouTube, you have to be 18 or more to be on our show. These are Google Hangout and YouTube rules. Boy, it went from 70 degrees in West Orange, New Jersey to 90 degrees. Within minutes, it was just 70 and then whoosh. Oh, it's so humid. The dog went out a lot, but he didn't stay too long. He didn't want to. It's bright and sunny. Doesn't look like it's going to rain. It's very humid. The leaves aren't going down on the tree. If it was going down on the tree, I'd say it's going to rain. But it's just very humid. So everybody be careful not to stay out too long. If you have heat like this, This normally is not in July. This is August weather, and this is even beyond what we've had in August. We've never had it like 100 over. It was over 100 degrees one day, and then almost 100 a number of days. We never had that. It's crazy. I could just imagine people down in certain parts of the country, Florida. Oh, it must be unbearable. Probably in Texas, it's very hot. I pray for everybody. I just hope that there's better weather. You know, and friends of mine went to, this my neighbor here, went to Florida, and I asked them how the weather was, and they said half rain. So they had it, really hot, and then it was raining. So that's not good. You go on vacation, you don't want half the time raining. That's, unusual. Usually it's, in the summer, pretty sunny and good in Florida. I've only been to Florida once with my late grandfather. Used to go to Florida a lot. And, he loved it. The weather was very therapeutic on his body. I need a lot more coats on this. This was only like 3 coats. A sweater. This is the third coat now. Puppy Platinus is sleeping, I'll tell you. He was exhausted from the heat. I wish he was out. He's underneath the bed. He's taking a nap, a snooze. He doesn't even want to be bothered with the light. It's so hot, he just wants to hide under there and keep away from the sunlight. And again, I'm writing an ebook, and anyone who wants a free energy scan, just contact me at 973-736-1637. You can do it over the phone, and then you can be part of our book. If you don't want to list your full name, just put your first name. And while I'm writing that book, it's going to be free for all individuals. Now, if you're a company and you want to hire me, there is a fee for that. And I charge $500. And you would have more productivity from your company. They would have more focus and more energy immediately. So it's well worth the $500. We go to you. You don't have to go to us. Now, if it's out of our tri-state area of New Jersey and New York, then we would have to have additional travel expense. But if it's, New Jersey, New York, that's fine. Well, it's best to do light colors first and dark, but I haven't been able to complete that because I was doing the other things while we're on the air. And so it's only 3 layers of this, and everything else I did was 6. So I wanted to address that first today. I can get caught up. So now I'm making tan. So you put brown with the white. Brown. Oh, thank you, Alfredo Tigolo. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. He has subscribed to me on YouTube, and he said, great looking painting. And it's my first portraiture. Thank you so much. It's so nice hearing that from another fellow artist. It's my first one. And I appreciate Pac-Man. He is so encouraging. He's always telling me, that it's very nice. It's, something of a positive nature with my art and my presentation. And I thank you so much too. It's very nice. Oh, thank you. He also compliments about how I look. Thank you. Thank you. Pac-Man 77 LP. That's his title. And I think I'm just trying to see if anybody else is there saying something. Oh, Luis Arujo said hello. Okay. I like to try to, whoever is speaking to us to always compliment. I do appreciate. And I would have live talk on here, but the thing is, I only have an hour, and I can't do that much talking and then have talking on top, so I wouldn't be able to paint too much. I want to be able to teach you to paint. And so that's why I don't have a live talking. Somebody asked me, this Pac-Man, why I don't have, and that's the reason. I wish I had more time in the day, but I don't. So, because I also run a nonprofit organization, and I teach art and poetry, and then I have to do my own social media, and I'm trying to help people with their social media. And anyone who wants to hire me, I definitely know everything, an expert with social media. So any company or individual wants help with their business, give me a call, 973-736-1637. After 5 weeks, our business went front page for free on Google, and this was by the Google box. So definitely know social media, definitely know how to do things on your website, blog post. There isn't anybody else helping me. I do all these things myself. This is why I only can give you an hour. I would give more, but we've got a free website, a free show, and I've got to bring some revenue in. So I've got to do some social media. Plus, I really like doing it. And I'm fair in charging. I really haven't thought of what I individually would charge companies. Um, if I was to do a job, I mean, full time for a company, they'd have to give me about 50,000 a year. But individually, like just to work a little bit with some company. I know you're just starting, so I mean, I don't expect 50,000, obviously. And I really haven't thought of a price. Could be negotiable. I did have an offer to be representing a wonderful author in California. I just didn't want to move to California. Really, I would have loved working with this woman. This woman is a #1 bestseller for New York Times, and she asked me. I didn't even ask her. She asked me to be your social media manager. Wow, that would have been something. So I wouldn't just represent somebody unless I felt that they're really deserving. There's a lot of companies out there. I wouldn't take the job. I have to have a noble company and a good product. And I'm more than happy to help any company, even a starter company, whatever, you could pay me. Like I said, I haven't even thought about the price. This is something I'm just starting to offer. Other than I felt 50,000 for the year, if somebody's wanting a whole year of my service, a company. If it's just part-time, it could be a lot better than that, of course. And depending on what the company is, if it's not too much involved, obviously, certain companies need more effort, more work. But I'll tell you, when it comes to your business, the most important thing is to know exactly, pinpoint the most important thing that you are either providing a service or a product that you're doing, and just limit yourself. Don't overdo it. If you're having like a lot of products and you're not having success because you're not focusing on one area. You really need to focus, condense, whatever it is. If it's too much, eliminate. If it's not working, just stop. And also, you should really know your audience. I mean, who you're addressing. So like each, company could be different, who you're addressing, who the people. My company is addressing all ages. If we were to speak, we could be all ages. It would be youth to senior citizens. But you have to know your audience. And I was just on a webinar today. It was really great. It was with an interviewer, Yamada, and she stated, she was in agreement with this guest that she was interviewing. And I truly think that was some show, because it's true. You can't be all over the map. You gotta know. And when you go to companies, you say those two things. It will get you in the door. And then you ask them if that is what they're looking for. There's my light again. It just keeps going off and off and off. Oh my gosh. So fast. Well, at any rate, I hope and pray for all the people around the world. Miraculous healing prayer. There should be peace, good spirit, good health, good strength. Amen. And God heals 100%. Hope you don't need this prayer now. But if you do, please say it with me to God. God will do the 100% healing. I just say the prayer. That's all I do. Now, another thing with what's going on in the world, I feel there has to be an addressing for climate change. And I know our president, Mr. Obama, is doing that in every way, trying to push for that. And Democratic senators are doing everything to push for that, but it's not happening. But they're doing enough. So, my prayers, they're good to work, but I mean, if you're having not something addressed for climate change, and it keeps happening and over and over and over, and as I can see, we've never had weather like this. If you ever, I mean, in your area, wherever you're living, did you have weather like this? Did you have inclement weather? Did you have it where it's so hot, almost 100 degrees or over 100 degrees? Normally, we've never had weather like that. I can't even believe what's happening. This is climate change. So when you see petitions, please sign them for the climate change. There has to be an addressing to this issue. We must do something for climate change. We can't live like this. It's getting worse and worse every year. Obviously, there's something to worry about. This is hotter than last year was getting hotter. And now it's even hotter. And a lot of heavy rain. And this is not springtime where we have, supposed to be a lot of heavy rain. This is summer weather, and this is ridiculous. It's awful. And I can't understand why there's not more addressing for it. The president urges it. Democratic, why aren't the Republicans on board? And I even spoke on small business concerning that. And I wrote into press concerning that. So my thoughts were expressed. And there has to be a resolve. Now, the fact that we're going solar throughout the country is wonderful, and the world, because that's saving on the power and things, and it's not leading, it's clean energy that's not leading to more things that will cause bad weather. It's all related. If you have pollution, this is what the climate change is about. It's caused from pollution. So we need to go solar, as much as we can in our world. And I'm starting solar soon. I already mentioned I put in a new electrical panel. I'm ready for the solar, and he has to do some other things I have to do, but it's started already, and I'm hoping soon that they put this in. They have to do some more things on my house before they can. And then it makes your bill a lot less. So as long as you have a good reputable company, like I have Momentum, and if anybody wants to call in, please mention Barbara Alsou referred you. And I hope and pray that you can, get this, that you're qualified for it. You have to have a good new electrical box, or if they're willing to put it in for you, like they did for me, you have to have a good roof, a newer roof, which I have. You can't have too many trees, or your neighbor's trees. It can't be too much. I mean, I have just basically a few trees that have to be chopped down, but I don't have a lot. And if you have a big forest by you, I mean, that's not going to be qualifying. But I would definitely go solar. Again, Momentum is the company. They're nationwide. And they give you a free solar system, installation included. And if there needs to be repair, they do that too. They come free of charge. So let's face it, that's a good deal. I hope they do it soon. And the gas company put in a meter. I've said this in an earlier show, but in case I have some new people, I just want to tell you. They charged me $920 for my gas and electric bill. Are they nuts what they did once? And so I immediately called them up and I said, "Are you crazy? You must have a faulty meter out there. You just put it outside. I didn't ask you to do it. You changed my meter from inside to outside. You must have given me a faulty meter." So, and I was not calm about it. I was yelling. And I said, "Look, $920. I went from $180 to $920. And this was during Christmas time. So I needed like a hole in a head to pay $920. So I knew it was the meter. And I insisted, you get someone to put a new meter in immediately. And so certainly I was right. So look what the gas company can do to you. I mean, solar It's less money, and you don't go through all this aggravation. You're not going to have these deviant bills coming up. And this was a very deviant bill. This is beyond. Well, I am just thrilled that I'm going solar, and I'm not going to have the aggravation of that anymore. You can do another thing. You could ask your company, if you're sticking with your gas company and electric, you can ask them to give you a bill that is estimated, like in other words, they give you each month a certain set fee that they would charge you, as opposed to paying whatever they want to charge you, like they did to me. They said they couldn't come out. It was inclement weather, so they gave an estimate. What kind of crazy estimate? I never had any estimate that amount. How could that be an estimate? And I was very boisterous, and I didn't let up. I even at one point threatened I'm going to go to public utilities, which you can do if that wasn't adjusted, and it was. So, new meter was put in. But such aggravation. Christmas time. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful gift of giving me aggravation at Christmas time. Well, I hope you don't go through that. And that's why I say switch to solar, or at least ask for a one set fee for every month. It's better than being at the mercy. You're certainly at the mercy of these people. I mean, if they could do that, $920, $800, I would say, oh my God, it's still, this is 920 from 180. Oh my God. It's like beyond Christmas time. Of course. Lovely people. And I dropped everything. I had contracts and things, and I dropped all the contracts because they charged me that, and I was furious. Just furious. And I felt, look, I gotta cut all my costs down. And I wasn't even stopped using my electricity. I was so fearful. I was watching everything. I had a coffee pot. I didn't use it. I had to switch to everything gas. Gas is cheap. It's the electric that was the cost that went up. So if you use more gas, companies don't charge now for the gas. It's the electric. And that's what was outrageous. Totally outrageous. I couldn't believe they did that to me. And I hope they don't do that to anybody else. I hope and pray you never go through that situation. Are they kidding? I finally got reimbursed for that, and it took months. It was like 6 months before they gave back the money. Because I had to go to an independent company, and then, to see if it was their fault, and it was. But I'll tell you, if I didn't get that, I would have gone to public utilities, because they'd have to investigate. Don't you let anybody do that to you. Don't let a company. You report it to Public Utilities Commission. That's what they're there for. That's in the United States. I don't know about in in Europe, if you have that, if you have a commission, I hope you have a commission. I pray you have a commission that regulates. I'm just looking to see if anybody else commented anything. That's about it. And I'll tell you, I'm thankful that I stuck and fought that. I just kept calling about it. I spoke to a number of people. You can't let up. You can't let anyone push you around. And I know it could have been a correct reading. My son cut down things. He was smart. He put only sockets in, light sockets, electrical sockets. So I knew that it was definitely their fault, which is a good thing. And you should change your electrical sockets every now and then, because they can cause a fire if you haven't changed it in years. So please, everyone out there, make sure you change your electrical sockets, your light sockets. Make sure. Unknowingly, you could have potential for a fire if you don't change it. And I had an old Federal box, and I never knew that was dangerous. And I found out that this was so dangerous from the solar company. They never told me, the gas company, that this would be potential for a fire, possibly. So now I have a brand new electrical box. Unbelievable! For free. And that could be like $3,000 to $5,000 for free. So Momentum is the company. Again, just say, please, Barbara, I'll sue my name. And our company could get referral fee for you going there. So I'm very grateful, and you definitely need it. I'm not working for the company, but just they will give anyone who, if you took their service and then you refer somebody, they would give you a referral fee. Or even if you consider taking your service, they still give you a referral fee. It's got to fall first. Well, I'm going to say good night, a good day, wherever you are in the world. I'm just trying to put a little more up here. My little doggy wants to go out. Finally woke up. I hear him, he sounds so cute. And I wanted him to be on the camera, and if I would have had the new laptop, I could have been shooting him. See, because he doesn't always want to come up on my lap. He just woke up from a nap. He's tired. He doesn't feel like jumping up. This way I could zoom in on him. I think you'd like to see him. A lot of people wrote in that they love my puppy. He's so cute. Honey, don't do that. Please. Honey. Don't do that with the floor. Stop scratching. No, baby. You want to have my chickie tonight. I'm just going to finish this one section maybe. No, baby, you have to stop it. You can't be doing this. No scratching the floor. The wood floor. And I don't have a sander to get the scratches out, so please don't do that. Don't scratch the floor, please. You can't scratch the floor. And I'll tell you, he's pretty good though. He's an island puppy, and he makes some mistakes with scratching or whatever, the floor. He doesn't really make damage. I mean, he's very good. He's a tiny little guy. He's a Chihuahua. Part black lab. What a combination. But he doesn't do damage, thank God, in the house. I have a lot of antiques and things, It doesn't hurt them. I have an antique rug, and thank God my rug is still together. Lasted a year with him here. But he is still learning. I can't, state that he's perfect, but he's very good. Very loving. So if you have it in your heart to adopt a pet, go to the nearest local shelter. And realize they're like babies, but even more so. It takes more care for taking care of a dog and a puppy. Either one. But you get so much love, so much joy from having a wonderful puppy or dog. And they are the best, the pets that I've left from the shelter. These are top pets. I've never had sickness, and they're well behaved. But bring your family to be sure, if you have children, bring the children to be sure, let them play with the puppy or dog before you bring them home. Because it could be a real disaster if you don't. You don't know how they'll react with your children, and you've got to see that. You've got to see that interaction. You have to. All right. Well, again, good night or good day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for referring people. We keep getting more and more, and I am so grateful. So you just have a wonderful time doing your work. Just remember, enjoy. Don't worry about it being perfect. You're just starting with us. Please just remember that. I'm sure that it looks wonderful what you're doing, and it's going to get better and better. All right, thank you.